Hey guys, welcome to a brand new episode of Harry Potter Wizards Unite. Today we are talking about professions in Wizards Unite. You have three choices and it is not, you get to pick one and you're that way for the rest of the game. These are skill trees that you build on and can switch between. So they have different benefits in different situations. We'll be going through all of those, the different specs, which one might be the more preferable to have with your style of playing, and what I'm going to pick. So if you're interested in more content like this, then make sure to hit subscribe because I'll be putting out loads of other guides related to Wizards Unite. But for now, let's get into Wizards Unite Hub, who have created a huge article on this. So if you guys, you can check it out with the links just slightly above there, but I'll put it in the description for you guys as well. So they've put together, choosing a professions in Wizards Unite, a guide on choosing the best profession for you and your gameplay style in Wizards Unite. There are three professions that you can choose from: Hagrid, Magizoologist; Harry Potter, Aura; and Professor McGonagall, Professor. Three different types. So we'll be going through all these different specs, choosing based on preference and role, auras, Magizoologist, teams, gameplay, overall character progress, and stat definitions. So when playing Harry Potter, you get to choose from three different professions. Now, each of them have different in-game information related that gives you some insight into what they'll be better for. Auras are combat veterans who defeat foes by combining their innate leadership with a litany of debilitating spells. Magizoologists are trained in care and preservation of magical creatures in combat. Magizoologists focus on healing and helping teammates. And professors are highly adept spellcasters who use their deep magical knowledge to debilitate foes while also supporting their teammates. So it looks like Aura, offensive; Magizoologist, defensive and helps teammates; and Professor looks like a mix of both. You're able to switch professions at any time and switch back at any time, though you will lose the benefits of that profession, so the stats and spells when you switch. Scrolls and spellbooks are hard to come by, so choose wisely. Switching is not recommended for that very reason, though it's easier to switch at the beginning because the cost of scrolls gets steep, but it gets so steep as you get deeper into the tree. So 50 plus scrolls just for one skill when you come to the end of your skill tree. So choosing based on preference and role. Choosing profession could be very easy. You might love magical beasts and immediately choose a Magizoologist, which is what I was thinking. This may have swayed my my choice. Maybe you're a real life professor and want to be a professor in game as well. Maybe you just want some Corsadul, just because you got gum disease. Otherwise, similar to choosing a Hogwarts house, your own personality or gaming personality could decide your profession. In role game playing games, fighters resemble auras, mages resemble professors, and healers resemble Magizoologists. Harry Potter, the main character of J.K. Rowling's book series, is an aura, a detective, bounty hunter, police officer who protects citizens and fights evil. The aura's main role is to deal damage. Professor McGonagall, along with Professor Dumbledore, is a professor and the teacher of all things in the wizarding world. The professor's main role is to cast spells like Hermione. And Hagrid and Newt Scamander, and maybe Ron will be involved in this later, are Magizoologists, specialists, and caretakers of magical beasts. The Magizoologist's main role is being healing tank. So yeah, if you really want to be supportive, I imagine less people will go for Magizoologists, but they will probably, if you're in big groups of people, these will be probably a necessity to mean that you can keep fighting, your auras can keep delving loads of damage. Cooperative play in Wizards Unite. Niantic made Pokemon Go social cooperative with raids and community days. In the current beta test for Wizards Unite, fortresses are the only cooperative aspect, but this game has a few disabled features along with it, with more to come in the future. Right now, I would think how you want to play when you're thinking about picking. So you've got fortresses are the equivalent of raids, so you're going to be taking down high-level beasts to be able to get rewards from them. If you want to play casually, any profession will be fine. Lower level fortress changes are easy for beginners and give decent rewards. In Pokemon Go, if you like to raid, then you want to think about who you're going to team up with. That said, you would only plan to coordinate with people that you're guaranteed to meet up with, often for fortress battles. Large active communities won't have issues getting people from various professions together. The larger issue would be deciding which chamber level to attempt. So the higher the chamber level, the greater the difficulty. And if you're a hardcore player and want to make it through all the chambers in the fortress, then you should coordinate with other hardcore players in your area. It won't help to have 3 high level auras, so one might want to become a Magizoologist or Professor. So we're really going to one of the things that is going to determine who you want to be might be that if you are somebody who goes out on a regular basis with the same group of friends, you're going to want to discuss between you who's what and probably switch up, not all go for the same one. All successful teams are balanced, just like Harry, Hermione and Ron. Each other in the books, your team should be balanced between the 3 different professions in Wizards Unite. Proficiency and Deficiency. There are 3 types of foes in fortresses. So you will encounter dark forces like Death Eaters and werewolves, beasts like Urklings and spiders, and curiosities like dark wizards and pixies. Each profession has 1 proficiency and 1 deficiency, similar to rock, paper, scissors, so no single profession is strong in all circumstances. Aura is proficient versus dark forces, but deficient versus beasts. Magizoologists are proficient against beasts, but deficient against curiosities. And professors are proficient against curiosities, but deficient with dark forces. What does proficiency matter? A hell of a lot. 250% damage will be dealt out. With the first book of lessons completed, each profession gets around 150% proficiency, 250% of base power, and even a Magizoologist with 59 power could outdamage an aura with 100 power against a beast like an Urkling or a spider. So if you're getting that 250, if you are delving 50 damage, you're going to be giving out 250%, so that's 125 damage. So an aura could have like 125 power, but you deal the same, even if you're weaker. So this is going to make a massive difference when facing things. This is why you're probably going to want a balance. So an aura with 100 power, like an Urkling, unless the aura gets a critical hit. So critical hits can increase the damage that you delve as well. Deficiency, though, after preliminary battle research, damage done to neutral and deficient foes appears to be the same. That said, it's unclear if expertise reduces the damage received. Deficiency defense skills increase defense 50 to 60% versus a negative deficient foe, but are more than half the way down the skill tree. Note as well, it would be odd to take more damage from neutral foes. Yeah, that makes sense. Choosing based on stats and spells. So if you're still unsure, then let the data choose for you. So it's important to know your own strengths and weaknesses. Below here are a list of the different stats for each different category. So here's the skill tree. This is provided from Ice9X and Quasi23, so big shout out to them for all contributing to this, and I imagine this is by Zerohan, by Mr. T. So thank you for this. This is awesome, so well put together. But here you can see that you've got different categories of stamina, so that will be your health. So Magizoologists are the tanks. Power, aura delves 100, Magizoologist 59. So auras are going to be done almost double what Magizoologists do. Protego power, 45%, 49% for Magizoologists, 35% for auras. So with that extra strength for an aura, you are going to get a weaker Protego, so you're going to take more damage. Precision, so that's the accuracy of your hits. Auras are a little bit way more precise than Magizoologists, almost twice as much. Critical power, so that's your critical power. Damage is 120% for auras. So again, just kind of matching that. Offensive damage is bigger. Proficiency power is all pretty much the same. Deficiency defense, pretty much the same, except Magizoologist has slightly higher and has higher defense. Defense breach, though, so that's to be able to breach somebody else's defense, is higher in aura. Again, with the stronger attack. Accuracy, though, goes highest to professors. So 32% versus 15%, that is a lot more accurate. So it may be that, yes, you deal more damage with an aura, but if you're missing some of those shots that the professor is hitting, overall it might start to catch up. Maximum focus is higher, 15 and 12 for a Magizoologist, 10 for an aura, and initial focus 4, 4, 5. I'm not fully sure what focus does. But I'll post that in the comments once I figure it out. Auras. So auras are, overall, they're just doing a nice summary of it. Power, precision, critical hits, best in all offensive stats and worst in all defensive stats. They have insane critical first hit potential, so 70%, versus foes with 100% stamina, and 95% precision versus Death Eaters, or 60% when Death Eaters have less than 100% stamina. A critical hit will add 120% critical power, and proficiency adds 150% damage. So you can just see that the auras will be delving out a hell of a lot more damage. Transferring focus is helpful with a diverse team of heals and buffs. So yeah, because it's other than stamina, they aren't much lower than other professions. Best skills, power, precision, critical power. Worst skills, stamina, protego power, defense. So no surprise there. And it also gives a list of the spells that you get. So I think you get extra spells as you progress your skill tree. So for an aura, you'll get Impair a foe by lowering the power by 30%. Bat Bogey Hex will reduce the single foe's stamina by a small amount. Focus Charm transfers. Oh, so this is how much focus it requires. So maybe that's how many what the points means. So you can use 4 if you've got 4 focus points. Focus Charm will transfer focus from yourself to a teammate, and Confusion Hex will impair a foe by lowering the defense, evasiveness, defense breach, and counter jinxes. So that Focus Charm, I'd imagine, could be quite helpful if you need a heal and you can transfer a focus to a Magic Zoologist. They can then potentially use that, and imagine they're going to have a healing spell. Confusion Hex will impair a foe by lowering the defense, evasiveness, defensive breach, and counter jinxes. The Professor are spellcasters and hybrids, so very much the same as the in-between of a Magic Zoologist and an Aura, as one would expect. Best skills, accuracy and max focus. Worst skills, defense breach, and situational skills, power and defense buffs. So it doesn't have too many weaknesses and it doesn't have too many strengths. Its spells are Deterioration Hex, which will place an impairment on a foe that lowers their stamina minus 80 every time they attack or defend. So that's pretty good. That'll take 5 focus. Mending Charm, restore a teammate's stamina by a small amount. As I predicted, they have something that will heal. Protection Charm will enhance a teammate by increasing their defense. So this is why they'll also be good to have in battles, because you'll be able to use that to increase your teammate's defense. So whereas an aura might get taken out quickly, that might give them a little bit longer in battle. Proficiency Charm will enhance your entire team by raising their proficiency power by 40%. Requires 7 focus, so that looks quite expensive. And then we have Magizoologists. No surprise, these guys are the tanks. Probably best in everything. Yep, stamina, defense, initial focus, worst in power, precision, critical power, as we'd expect. The spells you'll get with Magizoologist are Stamina Charm, so restore the stamina of a teammate by 20%. Oh wait, that was a professor that had the heal, wasn't it? Okay, so the professor does have the ability to do some healing as well. So so when we get to Magizoologist, we've got Stamina Charm will restore stamina of a teammate by 20%. Mending Charm will restore a teammate's stamina by a small amount. The Revive Charm will revive a knocked out teammate and restore a portion of their stamina, 50%. It requires 3 focus, and the highest one, which costs 7 focus, will enhance your entire team by raising their power against elite foes. So these spells are really going to make a difference. This is why you do need to have different people having different professions, so that you're going to get those benefits. Teams. So for high level chambers in fortresses, one of each profession is helpful to cast and take on foes. Based on the proficiency, in terms of team-based spells, Magizoologists recover a teammate's stamina 20%, revive and buff versus elite foes. Professors cast buffs for defense and proficiency power, along with a damage hex, and auras weaken and confuse foes and can transfer focus. All players should battle, even the healing tanks Magizoologists, for 2 reasons. All battles are 1-to-1. Only one player can engage with a specific foe at a time. Chambers usually have more foes than players, so waiting in the chamber when all the other players are engaged in battles wastes precious time. Okay, so it's 1-to-1. You're not going to be battling like Pokemon Go, where you've got like 5 on 1 Groudon. Magizoologists have 150% power versus beasts, so most of the time they'll do better than any other profession against beast. So it really depends on who you're facing, what will determine who you want to be. If you've got all these maxed out, so these kind of things will give you that, well, actually I need to start using a Magizoologist if you're going up against a beast. Gameplay. Adventurers walk around, collect items and spell energy from inns, greenhouses, encounter traitors to deal with confoundables, and battle fortresses. Runestones aren't much of a problem right now. Your profession only affects fortress battles, which is similar to Pokemon Go raids. In Pokemon Go, beyond the free daily raid passes are expensive and only available in the cash shop with Wizards Unite. In Wizards Unite, that's in Pokemon Go. In Wizards Unite, runestones are easily obtainable, and a bag of runestones with 10 runestones costs 40 gold, which is less than $1 in the cash shop. So you're going to be able to use fortresses a lot more than you potentially would be able to use raids. Resource management is definitely an issue. Healing potions heal only 35% of your stamina, and the Stimilo potions last for only 3 attacks. Potions take time to make up to 3 up to 3 can be queued up. So a healing and an Estimilo potion each takes 1 hour to brew. A strong Estimilo potion takes 2 hours to brew, and a potent one takes 6 hours to brew. So it's good to know, because you're going to need some of them going into the fortresses. Estimilo potions can be used for traces like Pokemon Go raspberries, making it easier to return a confoundable, and or in fortress battles increase damage and activate Protego bounce back damage. Beta testers report that heavy fortresses play requires a lot of healing and Estimilo potions. All professions can drop down a few chambers to avoid using potions if you want to be playing for a long time. Auras can take reduced damage when their weakness Hex only 1 focus and quickly dispatch of their foe with high power and precision. Professors can use either a Deterioration Hex, which costs 3 focus, or a Protection Charm to power through a chamber. And Magizoologists can slowly battle through foes and cast the Stamina Charm, which is 2 focus, to heal any damage taken. So I think if you're going solo play, you actually might want to consider Magizoologist, because it looks like, yes, it may take longer, but you can keep healing yourself. An aura may get taken out a lot easier. But if you're somebody who wants to play quick, like, do damage quick, and when you become, really powerful, you'll be able to take down chambers. Some you'll probably be able to take down with just 1 attack with an aura, whereas it might take Magizoologist 2 hits to take it down. So if you're playing like that, it does have an aura would probably be your best. Magizoologist, I'm still on the fence about. I'm in between a Magizoologist and aura, which probably means I should pick a professor, but I don't know yet. I'll decide at the end of this. Overall character progress. Beginning, the first few skills in the skill tree make a huge difference. After completing the first few rows of skills, your stamina and power has increased by 50%. You also have the first 2 spells to use in fortresses. As the mid game goes on, as you move up higher, move on to higher chambers with over 2,000 difficulty, the major issues are potions, healing and Estimilo, and hitting that solo glass ceiling. Scroll costs have skyrocketed and progress is slow. Endgame, after finally getting enough books and scrolls to complete the first lesson book, 134 to 142 skill points and 16 rows of skills, you have the highest possible stats in the game for your profession. Professors want to max their spells out to be at their peak performance. However, both auras and Magizoologists desperately need the specific skills at the end of their skill trees. Auras get a consistent damage bump with 4 skills at the end of their skill tree, 22 and 26 critical power and 50% critical power versus foes with 100% stamina, and 25% precision versus Death Eaters. Because they max out at 70% precision and 95% versus Death Eaters when foes have 100% stamina, otherwise most of the time auras only have 72% critical power. Magizoologists get 154 stamina, 60% deficiency defense, 99% proficiency power, and 25% power versus Urklings. On the right strand at the end of the skill tree, they will also get the 2nd bravery charm level, which gives 90% power versus elite foes to make the spell actually useful, and 1 more initial focus to make 5 initial focus complement their a bird in the hand skill. 40 power while player has at least 5 focus from the middle of the skill tree. So though for an aura and a Magizoologist, getting those final ones are going to be really important. Professors benefit from 29 power and 27% proficiency power on the 12th and 13th row, respectively, out of 16 rows, and along with 27% defense and 64 stamina at the end of the skill tree. But it's not a major factor, just more tankiness, though professors will greatly benefit from the 3rd protection charm level, 2nd and 3rd proficiency charm level, and 4th deterioration hex level near the end of the skill tree. So it looks like for stats, you really want to be getting towards the end for those auras and magizologists, whereas if you have a professor, that may be one that it's okay to not fully complete. Stat definitions, by the way, so that we can look at that focus now. I think we know what focus is by now, but stamina is the amount of damage a combatant can withstand, so health points. Power, the amount of damage a combatant can inflict against foes. Protego power, the reduction in damage taken by a combatant when the Protego charm is successfully cast. Precision is the chance a successful spell cast will result in a critical cast. So the higher your precision, the higher chances of getting a critical hit, which is going to do more damage. And then also critical power, so the amount of additional damage done when landing a successful critical cast, as we've seen changes between the professions. Proficiency power, the increase in the damage done against foes when the combatant has a proficiency against the foe. And deficiency defense, the increase in defense when that combatant has a deficiency against that foe. Defense, obviously defense strength against foes, so like if you've got high defense, 100 attack might only do 60, lower defense, 100 might only do 80. Accuracy, the amount of increased accuracy a combatant has against evasive foes, so this will be how much your chances of hitting with those attacks and missing. Maximum focus, the maximum amount of focus that can be stored during a wizarding challenge. So you use the focus to cast a spell, it looks like. Initial focus, the amount of focus available at the beginning of the wizarding challenge. And that is everything. Hopefully everything you will ever need to know about professions. Well, actually not hopefully, I want there to be more, because I want there to be updates, and especially in terms of, I want to see the impact this will have if we get PvP. And whether there's going to be anything in the story arc that the professions have some part in. Rest assured, if that happens, if there's any more information, I will be putting out on my channel. Massive thank you once again to Wizards Unite Hub, who provided this awesome article, put together just amazingly with just crazy stats. And of course, you can find this in the description below. Well, that's all for this one. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, please hit the like button and hit subscribe if you want to keep up to date with future content. That is all from me. See you guys soon.